Hello, boils and goyles. Welcome back to Mini Spring Cinema Wasteland week here on my channel. I'm Jason.
I'm Krazy J, or J by the way.
Biter. Right? This next review we're going to do here, this kind of has a history. This is what, our second time trying this?
Yeah.
We actually filmed this review, was it for Days of the Dead last year?
Days of the Dead last year.
Yeah, when Days of the Dead was here in Indianapolis last year.
Brandon.
Jay was here, Brandon was here. Brandon filmed the review for this, and it turned out awesome. We're really happy with it, but the footage got all fucked up, so we're going to try this again. And the review we're going to talk about is for Rob Zombie's much maligned, much hated Halloween 2. And yeah, so let's get right to it, Jay. Tell us your opening thoughts here on Halloween 2.
Alright, well, my opening... This is mostly a revile movie, but I am in the super minority because I absolutely love it. And like, you know, it's just because like, this is about his sequel to the remake, and it's about Michael Myers going after Laurie again, except this time it has a twist where his dead mother's coercing him or whatever and making him do these things, so it says.
White horse.
Yeah, the white horse. But you know what I've always loved about it is how, okay, one, it's so surreal, so out there that it's just like I love surreal stuff like Richard Kelly's stuff, Donnie Darko, Southland Tale. I mean, it's surreal stuff in general, like David Lynch stuff. And this kind of reminded me of a Michael Myers movie done in David Lynch land in a way. And also just, it's just so out there. I mean, and this is a completely different take on the Michael Myers mythos, which I totally appreciate. And also the second thing is that how brutal, absolutely brutal this movie is. I cannot believe that it got into the theaters as brutal as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, because, I mean, honestly, Michael Myers is like a tank. He just, I mean, the way he kills is just, he doesn't stop. And I absolutely love that part.
You say what, next to the original, this is your favorite, right?
Well, I don't know, part 5 and stuff, so it's up there though. It's in my top, as far as Halloween films go, that is up there in my top 4 or 5. Yeah. It's up there, I mean, for sure. And that was my favorite horror movie to come out in 2009, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, no qualms about that.
Well, my history with this film goes like this. I didn't see this opening weekend. He went and saw opening weekend, was highly praising it. I was like, holy shit, man, I really got to see this film. So, you know, we don't live close to each other anymore, so for us to go see a film together is kind of like an event, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like a big deal. So we went and checked this out. And
my second time.
Yeah, his second time, my first time seeing it. And, you know, when we got done, he asked me what I thought, and honestly, guys, I was fucking pissed. I was pissed off after watching this movie. I mean, I can, you know, that's happened a few times with films, but it's extremely rare. Usually, if I don't like a film, I'm just, that sucked. But this film, this fucking piece of shit pissed me off. I was so fucking mad for wasting, what, 90-some minutes of my life on this. Yeah. I was appalled by this film, and not because it was disgusting, but really, yeah, I guess disgusting, but in a different way, because I think it's shit on everything that Halloween was about, everything Michael Myers about, and I think Rob Zombie needs to be flogged with a fucking metal rake for doing this film.
That's harsh.
Yeah, I just, my thing with it is there's not a coherent story, you know. I mean, he mentions that David Lynch. Well, that might be a good thing. See, I'm not a David Lynch fan, so okay. Well, I'll agree with that. I couldn't stand it. The storyline, there was nothing there. It was constant whining and crying of Laurie, just oh fuck, wham, fuck my life, and the overuse of curse words. Rob Zombie is stuck in a rut.
I mean,
it's. You know,
that's because he lets his actors improvise like that.
And see, that's the problem.
That's
like the part at the beginning when the ambulance wrecks and the guy's got his teeth hanging out of his mouth. I mean, that should have been like a very first take, and he said, "Okay, guys, we got to really work on this." But no, it turned up in the film where he's just like, "Fuck,
over dramatic,
fuck." Pulling his teeth, fuck.
But it is redeemed when his head gets chopped off.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, in my opinion.
you know, my whole thing with Rob Zombie's version of Michael Myers is, you know, when he was first starting to do this, he did an interview in Rue Morgue, and he talked about how, you know, my Michael Myers, you know, I never liked how the original, how, you know, he could just get in a car and drive away. That was just unrealistic to me. But, okay, you dumbass, so instead of that, you're going to have a guy that just sits in a cell making masks for fucking 25 years, and now he's a hulking superhero that can knock down walls, bust out of fucking buildings. That's much more unrealistic to me. And I think he just amps that up to another level on this one. I mean, it was bad enough the first one where he's literally knocking ceilings down, just blasting out whole door frames when he walks into a room. And in this one, you know, he's like busting out the back of an ambulance, blowing the door down. He's just, it's just overkill on me. I mean, I will agree, you know, the making Michael Myers, you know, extra violent was kind of cool, but I just don't like the whole superhero Michael Myers that he makes. I just have a whole problem with his whole concept of Michael Myers.
I understand. Halloween's my favorite movie, and I totally understand that too. But like, I just like how different it was. I'm not a big fan of the remake, but this was like totally a saving grace to me, in my opinion, because that's a Rob Zombie movie all the way. And you know, I appreciated how different Michael Myers, because to be fair, it's not the same Michael Myers as the original franchise is.
Once you say you're going to make a remake, I mean, you're...
well, yeah, you start brand new anyway.
Yeah.
And you know, that's one thing I appreciated too. And also, like, if you like Halloween Resurrection more than this movie, then, please.
Yeah, you know,
come on.
I mean, I've kind of batted that around myself. Like, do I really hate this as much as that? Really? I don't know, you know, as much as I hate this film, I actually have bought the Blu-ray. So you call me the major hypocrite of the week right here. I win the award, okay? I bought the Blu-ray and I've watched it, I think, 3 times. I watched it twice, and then I watched it the last time when we were going to do that review, and that's the last time I watched it. And Resurrection, I probably watched Resurrection less than that, probably twice. So I probably hate Resurrection a little bit more than this.
And Resurrection's aged bad.
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, I mean, you know, and another problem I have with this is Michael Myers just being a fucking roaming bum that eats dead dogs. I mean, really, Rob? Really? You couldn't come up with anything better than that? It's, you know, and the whole debate's been said, you know, well, first Rob Zombie says he'll never do a remake. Then he does a remake and he says, no, I won't do a sequel. I said everything I had to say with the first one. But he does a sequel. And then apparently what happened was he was developing Tyrannosaurus Rex, which has still never seen the light of day, and Dimension basically came to him and said, no, you're going to do this film because they had him under contract. This is the inside story, they supposedly say, of what happened with this. And a lot of people think that he purposely made this film bad because he didn't want to do it.
Oh.
But I don't know about that. It might be a stretch. I mean, him being forced to do it, possibly.
But that still looks beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
It's well done, and the soundtrack score is amazing, in my opinion.
You can tell it's a Rob Zombie film. I mean, it has the, you know, the really colorful, dark colors and stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, it's kind of like House of Thousand Corpses meets Devil's Rejects in a way.
It kind of is, yeah. But I just, you know, his whole shtick with, you know, the overuse of curse words and the white trash, you know.
It's overdone.
That's overkill, and that's why I have a hard time being excited for Lords of Salem, even though it's something original again, because...
I'm really excited.
Yeah, it just seems like he's stuck in a rut. I mean, I hope he proves me wrong, because honestly, man, I really love The Devil's Rejects. I mean, I honestly think Devil's Rejects is one of the best films, period, out of the past 10 years. I mean,
yeah.
I love The Devil's Rejects, but I think, honestly, I don't see him topping it. I think that's going to always be his pinnacle film, personally. I mean, but again, who knows? Lords of Salem, I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he comes out and kicks ass, but I just don't have very high hopes for that one.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of his. I think he has a great eye, and but I do think his writing needs work. I mean, you know, and I'm not trying to pick apart it all either, but I mean, honestly, he should like get a filter, you know, write with somebody.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's consistent, but he needs to think outside of his box, and that would help him.
Yeah, he does. He needs.
But
like
he won't want to do that just because he likes to be in total control.
Yeah, he does. And
he does.
That's part of the problem either, because he doesn't take any type of criticism.
No, not good.
If you're anybody or anything criticize him, man, I mean, he
like
automatically
it.
just like, no, you're wrong, I'm right.
All the time, and even horror fans, he's like, well, they should just deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that either, because like they're the people who are helping make his career.
Yeah,
honestly,
we bought his mansion for him.
Yeah.
But you know, the other thing I gotta say about this film too, we didn't talk about yet, that I do not like at all, and I think you agree, is how little Malcolm McDowell is used in this. He's basically just putting the film to be in the film.
I agree with that.
I mean, he's such, you know, I mean, come on, it's Loomis. Loomis is so integral to Halloween. Yes, this is a new franchise, but why even have the guy in this? Yeah, like you said, because he's just in it to be a fucking prick that is trying to sell books, and it's just, it doesn't even fit with the story.
He doesn't even meet with Michael and Laurie until the end either, and that's like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous. He's a total jerk throughout, so how are you supposed to feel sympathy for him?
Yeah, it's not.
You can't.
It's not a good thing.
They could have left him out and like wrote a lot more around Laurie and Michael, made it better.
Yeah, they definitely could have. Yeah,
just had him killed off like from part 1, and then write it all around Laurie. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I still love it, but
yeah.
And then again, it's like, you see the difference with this movie is like, normally I love unrated versions, but with this film I love the theatrical version better. I love the theatrical.
You had a really hard time tracking that down.
Yeah, until I just luckily found it at
Fry's.
Yeah, Fry's. I luckily, and I love that version. I find myself watching that at least once a month.
Now that's the one where Laurie is spoiler alert here, where Laurie is in the mental asylum at the end, right?
Well, that happened in the unrated too.
The unrated.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, how's that go? Because it's been so long, I can't.
What do you mean, like the end?
Yeah, what's the differences between the two?
Well, in that one, she gets shot by a cop, and like when she's coming out,
she's got his mask on. Which
no, she not in that, not in the unrated. She's gonna she gets the knife, and well, that's when Michael says this words to Loomis. He stabs Loomis and says no, and then they both fall to the ground, and Laurie gets he gets shot down by the cops. She gets the knife and raises the knife over Loomis, then the cop just shoots her. And then, but then the theatrical version, all hell breaks loose inside the barn. Loomis gets stabbed like 1,000,000 times by Michael. His face gets turned like a pincushion. And then Laurie gets the knife and stabs Michael to death. And then she walks out with his mask on. And then that's when she winds up in the asylum. And both of them, she winds up in the asylum because. And the unrated, it was meant to mean she died, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what Rob Zombie said, but in the theatrical, it's just like, she went crazy. Which I like that a lot better.
And then he puts in the Love Hurts there at the end.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's one of the things people talk about the most in the remake is him using Love Hurts, Dave Hart sitting up front.
That was so
like a little kid. And then he has the nerve to put it in at the end again. It's kind of like a fuck you to the fans almost or something.
And I think he's totally messing up with that period soundtrack stuff because it works in rejects and stuff, but you can't just to me at least, it doesn't work to just copy and paste the song into a movie where, like, even in the Halloween, he tried to do it to make it like rejects. He did, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And that's cool to do that for a period piece set in the 70s because it works.
Yeah.
But not in a movie like a slasher movie when it needs to have atmosphere to score.
Well, and also, like we talked about him, it's just him being in his comfort zone. That's what he knows. And
that's
what
true.
He's going to continue
And
to
he
do.
knows.
I mean, and really, man, I hate to bring it up again because we're kind of getting off track, but Lords of Salem, just from what I've seen picture-wise and cast-wise, I mean, it just looks like more of the same, really.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it does look like more of the same, but to me, it's also seems like a different type of story that hopefully he stretches out on.
Thankfully, it's something original.
Oh yeah, that's a major plus. I think.
Yeah. So okay. Now Halloween 2, Krazy. What did you give this one rating?
I give it a solid 9 out of 10. Honestly, it's one of my favorites, and I have no shame in saying that. You can say whatever you want, but I don't care. But if you like Resurrection more, oh jeez,
Stop. out.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta say for that is Buster Rhymes. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
you gotta be kidding me. You know, this may be a bad movie to you, which, I mean, that's totally cool too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Resurrection is horrible. That shouldn't even been a movie.
Well, something else we got to mention really quick before I tell what I rate this is Tyler Mane. You know, I mean, everything aside of, you know, how I don't like how he's a hulking beast and all this shit, I do like Tyler Mane's performance. You know, what he's given to work with. You can't fault the guy himself for that, but he's very good in the role. He is very menacing. He's one of the most menacing Michael Myers in quite some time.
I think so. He's one of my favorites.
He did an excellent job as Michael Myers. If he never gets to play the role again, well, he did play him really good. The 2 films that he played him.
Yeah,
you know.
He's one of my favorites. Like I said.
Now, rating for me on this, I give it a 1 out of 10. Just a 1. I give it, yes, very, very low. I would give it a 0, but I will agree that, you know, there is some visual stuff going on in this that's pretty cool and stuff, but honestly, guys, I fucking hate the film. I can't stand it. I think it's one of the worst horror films in a long time myself. No offense there, crazy buddy. But yeah, we've always debated this.
It's fun.
Talk back and forth.
It's all in good fun with us.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, guys, that is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Watch it. It's great.
At least check it out once. Love it or hate the remake. Give this one a shot too to see what you think, because it is very polarized.
Very diverse, divisive.
Most people definitely do hate it, but there are people that really
huge
defend it
fans
too. I mean, and it seems like it's gaining more fans.
Really?
Like, yeah, I've noticed a few more people saying that they like it. I mean, even Mr. Parker here on YouTube recently.
Mr. Parker,
he's a fan of it, which, you know, that's cool.
Which is totally, I just met him at Wasteland and we talked about him. I was surprised to find another fan
of it.
And he likes all of Rob Zombie's work too, which is cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. I'm Jason.
I'm Krazy J, or Jay, by the way.
Have a good one, guys. Later.
Later.